Happy New Year. So, it's episode, I think it's 10. Yep, 10 of Honorable Musings. We got 5 of us here this time, one more than usual. Philo will be joining us about halfway through. We got Zinvo.
Hello.
Paldor.
Hello.
Kai.
Hello.
And Kazi.
My voice kind of died there.
So, because we went like almost an hour over on last week's podcast, this one's going to be simpler and shorter. I'm aiming for only around probably 45 minutes to an hour here. But we're going to be talking about what we didn't like about Shadowbringers and what we want to see in the future patches, if anything. And the rule is we can't be vague about it. We can't be like, I want to see Chrono Trigger in the game or something like that. That would be cool, but no. So let's go ahead and get started with what we don't like about Shadowbringers. Does Zimbo, you want to go first?
What do I not like about Shadowbringers?
Yeah.
I don't. You might have to pass on that on me, because right now I just can't think of anything. I actually really liked Shadowbringers.
Okay. How about you, Paldor?
I'm sorry to stop you there. You did not post the link in FC chat. You didn't do any advertising.
I did. It was like 10-15 minutes ago.
You should still post it when you're live.
Yeah, you're live now, babe.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. No, I understand. Okay, Paldor, what about you?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I can't really... There's the usual gripes of MMOs, but you can't really fault Shadowbringers for any of it, but specifically I can't really think of anything.
Alright, we'll come back to you. What about you, Kai?
I hate the twinning.
Why?
That's a hot take right there.
Elaborate now.
It was fun the first time. The music's good. It's boring now. I don't want to do it ever again. It's too long. The pools are weird. And the final boss is just recycled Alex. There. I said it. I hate the twinning.
Okay, so I have to...
20 and 13 minutes. It's
So,
not that bad.
so emergency podcast meeting. We need to kick Kai out. No, but
Or no. Kai needs to come with me instead of everybody else, and we'll get it done in 13 minutes.
yeah, I don't have the twinning. Usually goes faster than Academia Ander when I run it.
Not with me. It's
Well-
about the same time.
With you along, everything goes fast. So everything just explodes. Those poor monsters. But I'll give it a shot. I think the only things I don't really care for in Shadowbringers is that the obviously the classes seem not a lot more, but they're streamlined again, just like they were in Stormblood. Class identity is still there, but role actions and certain buffs won't stay on top of others, like Shield Samba and Troubadour and Tactician don't stack. My shields won't stack. Kai, I think someone's jamming out in the background.
What? Really?
Yeah. I can hear someone back there. Anyway. The other things are that it seems like side quests have been mostly tossed to the side. I didn't do any side quests in Shadowbringers. But I'm still obviously going to do them because I hate seeing those stupid little exclamation marks on my map. But it doesn't seem like they were given much of a purpose other than to throw free gear at you. There's little accessories you can get from them, and that's about it.
Yeah, side quests just make it harder for me to find treasure maps.
I kind of like them. Some of them are really good.
I like the stories the side quests tell.
Yeah.
But I wish they would give people more an incentive to do side quests, because when you do side quests and you do one, because I was doing them last night on Dancer, you do one, and then you look them over, and you finish it, and you see your XP bar get that tiny little sliver, and you're like, why wouldn't I just go run a dungeon right now? You know?
Yeah. Because you're doing it for immersion purposes, Supa.
Yeah, that's true. You could also... I mean, you're supposed to do them in between queues, but... I don't know, healer life right now, I don't really have queue times. Now, when I was doing Dancer, 30-minute queues, I hate it.
I leveled all my healers. I suffer in queues now.
Oh, no.
It's sad.
No heals for you and Nexus say hello. Lady Kitty K says, do it, the minions and the emotes. Oh, that's right. They put some minions and emotes behind side quests this time, didn't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
The beaver.
The beaver, the giant serpent of Ronka, and the Lolly-Ho emote. But even then, those are
I like
isolated cases, aren't they? They're in, like, quest chains.
Unlocking emotes behind quests aren't anything new either.
No. Or minions, for that matter. AR
Yeah.
for those.
There are also quest lines you start for the ether current, so they're not too bad.
The Jonathan says scree, and so does no heals for you.
Oh my god.
I'm saving
Great
side
serpent of
quests for
Ronka.
like ninja and monk because I am a horrible ninja and I'm a horrible monk.
I've been
And nobody
trying.
wants to see me in a dungeon on those classes.
I've been trying to play monk, and I'm like, my fingers are broken now.
It's not that bad.
Listen here, Zinvo. My fingers are very delicate, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But
He's got those small child hands. No, that's me. I'm sorry.
I suppose the other thing I'd have to say, and this might be fixed with 5.x, but there's a lot of loose ends we didn't really touch on after the story ended in Shadowbringers, like, you know, what's Feo Yule up to? How's Lyra doing with that injury that she got at the battle of whatever it was midway through the story? How's the Crystal Exarch just doing mentally? I'm pretty sure he's scarred for life.
We're probably going to see that stuff like as a split off from MSQ when we get more MSQ quests. I'm pretty sure we're going to get more side quests too.
Have you guys gone to show him the Wind of Grahatia?
Yeah, I have.
So cute.
He's like, he has a stroke when he sees it.
Yeah, he's so happy.
He's like, I don't know who made this. It's a young version of me that you just have follow around. It's creepy. Lady Kitty K says, Serpent was first one I ground out. It's such a cute storyline. Is it? I did the intro quest to that line, and it seems like the dude's crazy, but I don't know. I need to finish it.
No, it gets cute. It does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
And with the little Vieira twins too. It's
But you need to really be in the mood for something like that. It's or you're just not going to enjoy it. I've kind of realized over the course of the recent expansion that if I'm not in the mood for story or side quest story, I'm just gonna like either click past it or completely do a John and skip the whole thing. So I would suggest just being in the mood for that.
Putting John on blast live on stream.
I love you, John, but you shouldn't skip cutscenes, especially MSQ ones.
The other thing I didn't really care for this expansion is the map design of most of the overworld areas. Most of them. I don't
Really?
I want to fly higher, please.
I like
yeah.
Amarang, Ratika Greatwood. Kaluja's good. Kaluja's probably my favorite. But I don't like Ilmeg, Lakeland too much. And the Tempest was really good too. But the problem I have is when you just have a big open field and like that's the area. Ilmeg is a huge offender of this.
That's Kalusia too.
But Kalusia has a giant.
Kalusia is
With
just
a
one
cliff.
big, one open field with a huge cliff. Exactly.
Kalusia has a giant cliff at least, with a cool elevator.
If we
Ilmeg
flip
has
to
a
the
castle.
wrong way.
Ilmeg has a castle that you go to
Okay.
once.
Super. Go into Ilmeg during a thunderstorm at night. It is the most amazing place ever. I had to sit there for a node one time, and I just sat there and watched the lightning through the castle wings. It was amazing.
In this house, we don't hate on Ilmeg.
No.
At least, in my personal opinion, this expansion has a lot better, overworld maps compared to Stormblood.
I
Stormblood,
thought so too. The detail, even the flora detail, I felt was a lot better.
for sure. Like Lakeland, it's like, oh shit. I mean, everything's purple, but like, there's a bunch of trees and there's so much like different elevation changes and stuff like that.
Ilmeg at night, under the water, everything glows. And then when you come out of the water and look into the water, you can see everything glowing down there. It's the little details.
Well, and it's
11 that I'm seeing now with this production team, and I love it. So they need to keep going.
well, and the thing is too is like comparing Stormblood to Shadowbringers, like Ilmeg is like, it's designed to have that feel of like, oh, there's like fairies living here and stuff like that. Whereas Stormblood is just like, oh, hey, here's just an open field and stuff. I hope you enjoy it. Like I mean, hell, even the locks, like, wait, where is it?
The locks is probably my favorite area of Stormblood
Why?
because
It has the best
Little
music, I
salt
think.
field.
it has.
Yeah, music is good.
It has, I don't know, it feels realistic to me. The cave system, the tunnels, the random mines, it's
You just like it because of the secret room we can bust into.
that too. It's that's cool to me. That feels real. Even though there's nothing in that secret room, it's like, this feels like something that'd be in real life.
How long did it take us to get into that secret room? We figured it out.
It took us
How long?
forever because we didn't realize it's literally just a hole in the floor.
It is a hole in the floor. We kept flying over it. And we're both like, wait, what is that? It's like so small though. You're like, oh, can I fit down there? Wow.
Like, I don't know, like all the maps in the Shadowbringers have so much more color and detail to them, whereas Stormblood just felt very beige.
Muted.
Yeah.
Very muted, yeah.
Yeah.
I
The only place I like in Stormblood is the Ruby Sea, under Ruby Sea.
Dang.
Ruby FC was alright.
liked the Ruby Sea.
I liked the Zim Sea.
Yeah, Zima is
Zim.
really perfect.
Yeah, Zima's my only favorite map.
I like Yangsha too. Like the part with the cliffs and like the trees going like horizontally. It's very pretty. Like where Nemai is.
Valley. Oh, where Nemai is. Okay, that's the south area. I was gonna say Valley of the Seven Colors, but that's not.
That one is pretty nice too.
It's
Like all that eastern area.
It's the Prism Lake, Supa. I fish there all the time. I can't remember what it's called.
Jonathan says, when did they add cutscenes to this game? I hate you. And then Ozzy says, likes the Tempest, but not Ilmeg. The Locks have an underwater city just like Ilmeg. Oh, he's talking about me. They're different, Ozzy. They're different. The city in Ilmeg doesn't even serve any purpose. It's just there.
Neither does the one in the locks.
Yeah.
No, it does. We go.
Excuse me, don't you go to the underwater city where it levies
We go
in the Ilmeg?
for
Yeah.
leaves.
Yeah.
They have leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in the Locks, it's a dungeon.
A bad dungeon.
I liked Scala.
Scala was. It was bad. I never liked Scala.
I liked
Hot take.
I liked the fat cat.
That was the only redeeming quality about Scala was the fact that
Yeah.
I don't know. Doing big pulls in there was always an accomplishment. A lot of bad tanks
It was.
could not do that dungeon.
Aw, I talked her well, didn't I? It was wall to wall.
Wall to wall.
Okay, Super, you ready? Oh, you're not ready. Let's go anyway. I'm a paladin.
I'm dead.
They're gonna pull all of it.
I didn't like the leaves this expansion that much either. But then again, the battle leaves are gone, and all I have are gathering and crafting leaves now. And I'm not really sure.
They're kind of meh.
I'm not really sure why we still have these at this point. They're great. They're great for leveling, but
Yeah, they just feel very like, okay, go do this 3 times, then you're gonna level.
the crystalline mean,
That's it.
custom deliveries, collectibles. I mean, I get they're there just because there's no other better way to do it, but
I have so many opinions about what's crafting and what's going on and what's gonna happen.
Do you guys not like anything about crafting and gathering this expansion? Other than leaves?
No, that's not the problem at all.
Oh.
I don't like the first boss
we'll
of the
get
league
to
as
it.
well.
We'll get to it because you haven't gotten to me yet, so we'll get to it.
You want to go next? Because
Yeah,
we're kind of on a tangent right now.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, you can go ahead and take a shot.
So, why are you removing descenting and what the fuck?
Descenting levels?
Like, the whole level system is just going away. The only perk at this point now is, okay, now I can descent on all of them. Okay, that's fine. But now you're going to ruin a market that has been stable for years, just years. I still know people who dominate those markets and make quite a bit of money because some of those things cost 100,000 and you have to descent something very specific. So you had to level only that descent job. Now, just gone. Okay. Any explanation? We're making it easier. Why? You've made everything else easier. You've made tanking easier. It's like almost... Paladin is like a snooze fest. I love all the mobility of it, but it's not fun anymore. You made healing. I love Scholar. White Mage is boring, but it's always been kind of boring. But again, you've made it easy, and then everything has just overall been simplified, and it bothers me. It just...
Yeah, that's a complaint that a lot of us had beforehand. It seemed like everything was getting easier, and lo and behold, most things are way easier now.
But why remove that entire thing from the game? I don't understand that at all. Why did I spend years leveling that stuff to you just removing it, and then I get no compensation for it whatsoever?
I'm not really sure why they decided it was a good idea to do that, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of why. The only thing I can think of is that's a mistranslation and there's something deeper to it, but I'm not sure.
I'm hoping so, but I've read it over and over, and then I've read it with another person over and over, and we're both like, okay, so if we understand the verbiage correctly, it's completely going away, and we're obtaining that ability across all crafting jobs.
That's what it sounded like.
Exactly.
I have a problem with it too. I don't even have decent leveled, but I get kind of whenever something that takes a lot of effort and time to put in and it just gets bombed. I get a little butthurt about that.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Hopefully that's it's just a mistranslation, but we'll see.
Now that I had some time to think about it, well, after Cosmo's done with what she has to say, I do have something to say.
Okay.
No, I do hope that we're getting something in the future. I mean, it does feel like crafting even high level stuff right now is easy, unless you're me
What if
and you blow things up.
what
But
if you what if they took desynth like away, like they said they're going to, but they took that level and put it into a different system? It just carries over. That's just what I'm thinking.
I mean, if the system is, it's still going to wreck an entire economy,
I know.
Regardless of what they're going to do with it, it's still going to wreck something that has been valued for years. And it feels like that's what they're trying to do with this whole expansion, is they're breaking apart these facets that we've had within the game, not only economy wise, but like even gameplay wise, and just handing it to people now.
Yeah. We kind of talked about this before the what was it? Oh, I joked about it all last expansion. Remember how I hate the word accessibility? This is why. This, I mean, yeah, tanking is basically you could drool all over yourself and you could still tank just fine. Just turn on tank stance.
That's not true actually.
Unless there's good DPS in the party, then you have to actually pay attention. No Heals for You says they took away the Astro card game. Yep, we kind of talked about that last time. That Astro.
Now that I have Astro higher level, I understand why Kai's like, I am amazing. I'm like, I am always paranoid someone's gonna die. There is no time for cards. I don't need these.
Yeah, there's no time for cards. You just throw them.
Throw them wherever.
Like, you're gonna get used, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't have time to think about your effect.
No, yeah.
Just go do DPS.
I do kind of miss that little bit of flavor, though. Pi says, if they're going to make it 100% success rate, they should give the players who level the decent beforehand a bonus to their levels, as in a bonus to get rare material from the decent.
You know what they could give me, Pi? Specialization in the ones I've already leveled. So yeah, definitely that. That would be comparable compensation to just pulling the rug from underneath me and just saying, here you go, have fun.
All the fish I've destroyed in like 3 years.
It all means nothing now, Kai.
It means absolutely nothing.
All my Weaver descent and all my my Goldsmith descent mean nothing these past 3 years.
No, the one thing I was going to say, now that I thought about it, the one thing that bothers me the most about this expansion is that everything feels very streamlined, like tanking and healing not as much. I guess I haven't really leveled the healer yet. But I mean, like, even DPS too, it's just like, it feels very easy in a way.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Red Mage, Dancer, and probably I want to say not Monk, Samurai are very big offenders of this, because Red Mage.
Yes. However, that combination doesn't necessarily mean that you're good.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know. I know they did this on purpose. It's just a thing it's a marketing ploy and somewhat to get more people into the game. But at the same time, for those of us who have been here forever, it's like, hey, what the fuck? Why did you take away all my cool shit?
Mm-hmm.
What worries me is I've seen this before with WoW, where they kept messing with they kept tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. Okay, you have this tree now. Now you can have both trees. Now you can have simultaneous trees. Now we're going to remove this and adjust this. And they tweaked it so much to where they broke it. And then your entire fan base is gone because the game the mechanics suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the same thing WoW had. You just keep tweaking it to a point where you just look at it again, it's like, it's not even fucking WoW anymore. What is this? But we do need people to play the game to keep the game going, but at the same time, I don't think we should be retooling entire systems just to make Joe Schmo at home who can only hit 2 buttons and has like 7 kids and 20 jobs the ability to play the game.
But that's what they've done now.
I know, but
because,
it needs
like
to
I
stop
showed you,
before it gets worse, is what I'm saying.
yes, but like I've showed you, I do almost double or triple the amount of DPS that normal people do in a Duty Finder.
That is a good thing, though, because if you can pull off more DPS than normal people, you are being rewarded for skilled play, which I'll give the systems in this game that at least. If you're good, people will know it. Like, you'll see it. There's no, like, minute differences. You'll be like, oh, yeah, that person's really good, and you have to psychoanalyze their mental state or something just to tell they're a good player. But if you're good at Black Mage, chances are you'll have trouble holding aggro. If you're good at Scholar, chances are you probably won't take much damage. I mean, your party won't. If you're a good tank, then you'll be able to tell because you can do anything you want with your damage and you won't lose aggro. I mean, you won't rip aggro. Sorry, I need to slow down with my speaking. I'm going too fast. Pi says, I just got most of my defense past 130. I'm kind of pissed off too.
Yeah.
Lady Kitty K says, I gave up when WoW destroyed my Tamer class. I spent hours getting strong pents that only spawn once every few hours to a day. Became more cosmetic rather than damage buffs. No heals.
Oh yeah, I remember those
Oh my
days.
god, I camped for my blue striped tiger for almost 3 months. And I finally got it. And then, now everybody can have it. I'm like, well, what was the point of that?
No heals for you says, exactly this.
Ugh.
I feel I'm going to probably make a forum thread or something eventually because that's the only thing the devs read, but it's becoming a problem in my opinion. It's not like huge major, oh no, this has to stop, but I'd rather do it now rather than 6.0 when they just delete healers or something. We can't balance them, guys, they're gone. The streamlining is something that's somewhat inevitable as MMOs age, but at the same time, I want to say it's still possible for jobs to maintain their class identity, still seem fun, and don't invalidate everything that other people have worked for over the years, because that just pisses them off.
Cough, Dark Knight turning into Warrior.
Hey, don't.
I must need
I
new
would-
prescriptions, but I'm seeing 2 warriors.
Dark Knight. Dark Knight, I gotta give it to him though. I gotta give the devs Dark Knight because 4.0 Dark Knight, I hated with a burning passion. I couldn't even play it. This Dark Knight, I feel like I could definitely get behind it. It feels.
But that goes back to class identity, and I feel like I'm the guy that holds the axe.
See, but aesthetically and somewhat mechanically, Dark Knight feels a little bit more Dark Knight than it did before. The dark. They gave him they gave him the dark attack from 4. I mean, it's called Flood of Darkness in this game, but it's the dark attack from 4. You got.
No, I finally feel like a Sith again, and it's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
The only thing I don't agree with is the copying of what Delirium does as opposed to Felcleave. They're basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
no Dark Knight has asked for that, and they don't want it.
But
I don't know why they have it.
I can see why they might have done it, just because it's something that warriors and people who want to do a lot of damage and a lot of people say, well, Dark Knight should be able to do lots of damage.
Well, no, so for that combination, if you're playing Dark Knight in a dungeon, you use that combination for mana regeneration to keep Darkest Night up. So, in a utility sense, it makes sense. But yes, of course, when you're doing Blood Spiller like a million times, yes, then it's just OP. But if you're doing the other action as a MP regeneration, it's so much more effective than doing your 1-2-3 combo.
I think the other thing that's been streamlined a little too much is probably just the roles themselves, because I kind of touched on it earlier, but there's certain buffs that won't stack with each other, and that doesn't make sense to me at all. I get why mechanically they can't do it, because then you'll just break the game by running certain comps. But at the same time, I want to say, like, it's a different ability. It should be able to stack just fine with other abilities similar to it. If that's the case, just tweak the abilities and make them slightly different from each other. Like, why can't just leave Tactician as it is, give Troubadour some weird secondary effect, and then make Shield Samba the best one, because Dancer is a supportive class anyway.
They kind of have done that with Astro and Scholar. So it's already kind of in the process of being introduced into the game. So maybe we'll see that in the future.
I'm hoping so. Even though it's the same ability, and I get it, I just want to see them differentiate them, just so we don't have skills in the game that are exactly the same, just with different names.
Well, yeah, it's very stamp across the board with DPS, healing, and tanking.
All right. Do you guys have like anything else you want to touch on?
They better not turn Ninja into Dancer. That is all.
They basically said they're probably going to do that.
God damn it.
They're just going to make what I think is going to happen. They're just going to put the ninjutsu system into the Dancer system, which would make sense to me, just because that way you don't have to fill your hotbar with a billion ninjutsu skills, and they just come up when you use ninjutsu instead.
I think they don't have to be a fail ninja and macro all that stuff, because I'll never remember those combinations ever.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
I'm
gonna do a visual demonstration. Here we go. Ready for this?
Okay.
Okay. Here it is now. I can do it freely. I can do it at any speed of which my internet can do it. But if you were to do Dancer, you basically have it set so you have to do it like bang, and then bang, and then bang, and then you're able to do it. Or with the technical step, you can do it where
Zinvo.
you do it like 5 or 6 times.
Zinvo here.
That took too long.
Look, here's extended
Like,
step.
Kai
Here's
should
tech.
be doing, no, Kai should be doing this. Kai's the expert here, and Kai can do it very fast.
Okay.
It's button placement. See what Kai's doing? It's all about button placement, and you're
Okay. How long does it take for your standard step to come up, Kai?
It's 30 seconds.
Okay.
But
So what I
So is this? Are we having a showdown right now?
what I want to show is
Showing the dinner. Right now.
yeah. I want to show how fast it takes me to get Hutan up compared to him to get his standard step up. See, I got mine done a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
And the problem, what I'm trying to say here is that when you add the Dancer step, like timer, to the ninja set, you're better off not doing ninjutsus because you're losing that damage per second.
But you're also assuming they're not going to adjust the timer. They'll adjust the timer for Ninja.
Yeah.
Ninja is
guess.
faster.
I feel like Ninja will have a slightly more punishing system, because Dancer you can screw up and nothing bad will happen. You screw
Yeah,
up.
I can like do this, and this, and this, going, and then still do my right steps and just finish.
And I get a bunny on my head.
You get a bunny if you screw up. I think they should make the Dancer stuff on Ninja like slightly faster, but you can be punished for it. Let me just grab chat here real quick. No heals for you says, like Scholar and Ash shields in Nocturnal don't stack. However, if you have a Diurnal Astral that uses Nocturnal stack, the Scholar shields and Ash shields stack. It's weird. Just let them all stack. Yeah, I agree. Certain skills should stack, even though it seems broken, quote unquote. But let's be real here. White Mage has stuff like Benediction and Tetra. Like, what do Scholar and Astro have? Oh, look at me. I can spam Blood straight 3 times.
Essential dignity, sure.
Why can't we just have broken utility for the healers? Just give it to them. Same goes for the ranged DPS. Just give it to them. If it's that much of a problem, just balance the fight around it. Make them harder. I don't care. I just don't like. I don't like.
People cry. Then people would cry that the fight's too hard, Supa. There's no winning solution.
Just balance it. There's definitely a way to balance it. I don't know what it is, but it's there. Pi says they could just boost the potency of ninjutsu to compensate for the potential of the delayed of the new system. That's true. They could make you slightly slower, Zinvo, and just buff all your potencies.
Yeah.
Well, they better, because it's going to be the same thing that happened in Stormblood. Like 10 Chinji.
Oh god,
that level 70 skill you get.
Tai Chi Jin.
Your Tai Chi Jin. Ophi did the math on it in Stormblood, and you're better off not using it.
If you have
But
certain
now it changed naturally.
If you have certain pings was the contingency, because I remember that.
Yeah.
Because Ophi's ping was not great, and he was like, I do more damage without it. It depends on where you live at that point. And
That's true.
And I can kind of tell why that happened, just because, Ninja's supposed to be this fast-paced class that goes super fast, but Japan doesn't usually account for American ping, because our country is huge. Japan's what? The size of maybe not even half of California? God damn it. I think we touched on everything I have a problem with anyway. If you guys want to move on, we can. This next segment's probably going to be short. I don't expect any more than like 15-20 minutes out of it, but we're going to talk about, what we really want to see in 5.x. Like changes to, whether they be changes to the game or just small dumb stuff. Just specify. Let's go the other direction this time. You want to go first this time, Kazi?
Okay. I want them to expand on crafting. I want to see something good come from this decent change. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I think that's probably asking for a lot, because I know what they're gonna do. I know they're just simplifying it. But I can still hope. As for everything else, I really think we're going to see some side stuff for MSQ to go check back on some of those characters you were talking about, Supa. I just hope the story keeps going up instead of like
down.
What it did last. I mean, it didn't go down last time, but it stayed very medium and didn't go anywhere for me particularly. This one, I felt they had leaps and bounds in approval with just story in general and building the arcs and stuff. So I hope they go from there and take the constructive criticism, good and bad, and just try and, I don't know, give us a better experience than what the last expansion was.
Yeah. Kai, you want to go? You're not allowed to say Grahatia.
No, he's already with us. I want to fix Ishgard. I'm really excited about that. I can't wait for the new Primals. I'm like the new Primal series. I can't wait to see what it'll be. Because Primals are really like one of my favorite content in this game. And since they're gonna be like the first, they're probably not gonna be like Primals, so I want to see something cool. And I also want to know what the fuck happened to Amarant.
Well, yeah, I have a feeling we're not going to learn about that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ascian
please
storyline is tying up nicely, but we still don't know anything about Zodiac or Heidelin for the most part. It's no evil primal gods now. Thanks.
Yeah, that's cool. I want more of that.
All right.
I want more Dragons of War story, like that type of story, where it feels consequential.
You get emotionally invested again.
I'm very emotionally invested in this expansion. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
I was sort
Very.
of I was sort of in the last one too with certain characters, but that was about it.
Yeah, with certain characters I was.
I was actually emotionally invested with Yotsuyu. I wanted her to be redeemed so bad, and I was just disappointed.
It was, yeah, I liked that, but it wasn't like disappointing to me really. It felt real. That was one of
It
the
felt
only
very
storylines in
real.
Stormblood
I will
that felt
say, yeah.
real.
No, I will say that it did feel very real towards the end, but I was just like, it's still not grabbing me.
I think that was kind of what Stormblood was going for at the end of the day, is that war makes everybody an asshole and you'll like nobody. And it worked! It worked, except maybe Hein. Hein was okay.
Hein just wanted everybody to hold hands and sing along.
Hein was just tired. He's like, look, if killing me brings peace, just do it. I'm tired of this war bullshit. Alright, so Paldor, what do you want to see?
I want to see more open world to make the zones more inhabitable and make a reason for them. I'm personally can't wait for beast tribes, so there's a reason to go to all these different zones and progress the zone instead of just having a stagnant, it's like, oh yeah.
Treasure map, hold on.
What?
But our treasure maps take us to all those zones.
But I'm just like at a haze, just like going zone to zone. It's just like it doesn't engage me in the environment. We're just going to one place. Oh crap! A portal didn't open this time. Okay, off to the next place. I don't know. There's no engagement to the environment with maps. Where in Beast Tribes, you develop a little zone that you help out the tribe with, and flesh out more of their story, Plus, there needs to be a better way to level, even from 70 to 80, than just, okay, let's do the next dungeon 5, 6, 7, 10 times before I get to 80. We need something to do in between all of those hues, and we're going to run out of side stories eventually.
Okay.
But one thing I'm worried about going forward with the story is that it's just going to turn into Stormblood 2.0. It seems like we're going to go back to the source. If not immediately, but soon. After we... Huh?
Go ahead, sorry.
Because eventually we're going to get out of the first and get at least the majority of people that are stuck in the first back to the source. And I'm just afraid the plot at that point is just going to turn into post Stormblood stories, just like because the post story for Stormblood did not hold my attention, or was very good.
I keep feeling that we're gonna get a new Papa Lima moment, and I'm scared.
I'm ready for it.
This time,
I feel like that's gonna happen with the Eden story, to be honest.
I'll save that question for last. But Pi says they kind of tried to do more open world with shared fate. I'll give the devs that. They are trying to give more incentives to be in the open world via limited jobs, the shared fates, and treasure maps. But there needs to be and I can't forget this, SS ranks. I love SS ranks. They're super rare and they'll kick everyone's ass. But it's hilarious and I love it.
Yeah, those are pretty fun.
But it takes
really
like
good.
2 billion years to spawn them too, though. That's a downside. Just give us open world content. I don't care how much it breaks the game.
But like fates they've become tedious and monotonous.
Yeah.
And they just like on to the next spawn. Oh, I'm by myself doing it. Oh god, this is gonna take years.
That's why you kind of need groups to do that, so it's not as bad. It's like any grind, honestly. Zinvo, what about you? What do you want to see?
I want to see the Beast Tribes. That's going to be very interesting.
I want the Numo.
And if we have to go back to Stormblood 2.0, I want it to end. I don't want this stupid fucking cliffhanger of, oh, hey, we're going to have to deal with that shit in the next fucking expansion. No, I want it to be done. I want something different. I want not false promises of, oh, hey, there's a war that we have to fight and we have to be on the front lines, and the fucking expansion turns out to be, oh, hey, you're doing errand work for 3/4 of the expansion, and then at the end you can kind of do something, but you don't get to actually end the war. You just you hold them off. I want the Garlean War to be done. No more. Same thing with the Ascian stuff. I want something new. I want something fresh.
Okay. I want to see the Ascian storyline tie up. I'm not ready for Garlemald to be over. Not yet. Not entirely, anyway. It feels like it's basically over, though, because Xenos just committed patricide and Varys is dead, so there's no point in anybody continuing any wars now. But I don't know. Garlemald's not gonna just go away. I hope. Just because, I don't know, this might just be because I've been here forever, but Garlemald's like the big bad that this game's had all along. And I'd like it to be a very satisfying final fight where we take it to him. And it's just good. It's just good all the time, but I doubt it. It's probably, Ophi had a whole theory about how they're basically just writing Garlemald out of the story with Varys dying and Xenos basically just wanting to fight us again, but I really hope that's not the case. I'm going to be disappointed if that's the case. I suppose what I want to see battle-wise, can we have some new mechanics, please? Every mechanic in this game, in this expansion so far that I've seen, other than some of the Savage ones, is just spins on existing mechanics we already have. Oh, and Eden had some new ones too, but
They sure love those spins this expansion.
I know. They showed it off once in Gimlet Dark, and it's like, are you ready for it? The entire expansion? It's just spin. It's just spinning AoEs.
It was even before the Gimlet Dark. It just didn't have the indicators as they do now.
Oh yeah.
It was in the lighthouse for Construction 8, I think it is.
Oh yeah, Construct 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like a boss again. And Malika. I hate Malika.
I love Bucket Man though.
A Bucket Man's the best.
It is the best.
He is the best.
I need him as a minion.
He has buckets in his chest that he shoots out water. How can you not? Love that.
But he has a bucket on his head.
Oh my god.
I suppose I'd like to see a mechanic where, I don't know, you have to do just crazy stuff. Not like crazy like Savage, but I remember seeing Acceleration Bomb for the first time back in Weeping City of Mach, and I almost had like a stroke because I thought that was so cool how moving would cause you to take damage. But just wow me again with some simple mechanic that I was like, that's really neat. And I gotta give it to Stormblood again. When you did Ravenaster for the first time, and you fought the third boss, and he did the wheel thing, but you had time to get out even though the AoE was already gone, that was impressive to me. Just dumb things. They make me happy.
I think we're going to see a lot more playing with time.
I love spell and waiting as a mechanic, as a concept. I like that. Now
Have you watched
Have you
watched our streams?
I have, and I know I don't do Savage anymore, and I know you guys are suffering, but I love it. I love seeing that. Now, not that you guys are suffering.
Seconds on this fucking bomb.
I actually kind of like it in Savage because it gives you time to prepare.
That's true.
Pi says bring Heatwave back from the Hydra in World of Darkness. That's just called Pyretic now, and it shows up. It shows up every now and again. It has a different name in World of Darkness. No, it's not Pyretic. Oh, I'd love to see Brand of the Irefall and Brand of the Revengeful back from World of Darkness. That was a fun mechanic.
Oh God.
Double vision. I guess that's just something I might be. It might just be nostalgia talking, because 2.0 had a lot of enemies that just had one mechanic that made them unique, but you can't do that for all enemies. Then it's wasted potential.
They need like more like grandiose mechanics, like Zuzanu with the sword. That was like the best moment in Stormblood for me as a tank, is to like hold that huge sword from crashing down.
No, it was. That was so fun. And you're like, if I don't smash this button, I'm gonna die, and everybody else is
It's
gonna
like
die.
I actually felt awesome being a tank. It's like I'm holding back this giant sword with my axe.
I'm useful, yay!
Or even just like different transitions that don't last too long, like
Oh god.
Monastery. I love the Monastery transition at the last boss, but it could go a little too long.
I'd like to see a mechanic where it forces you to do specific inputs to get out of it. Not just mash I mean, I can understand why they don't do it, because some people are on keyboard, some people are on PlayStation, some people are on that thing Lufkin has where he plays with one hand. Like, I don't remember what it's called. It's that thing they're selling now. Shout out to Lufkin Dufresne, by the way. He's cool.
I want to see more mechanics that don't require you to be like, oh, I have to DPS, but like I have to like the one in Dawn Mag, where you have to walk that little tiny.
I love that. I know it's just that is kind of just to spin on another mechanic where you have to be inside a barrier to kill something, but I like the way it's approached in such a way that it changes the whole thing up.
Yeah.
I
thought
it like instills panic in you to get to the other side as quickly as possible.
And then when people fall, they like have this little meltdown, like, what the hell?
Guys, I just came up with a brilliant idea. Jump puzzle the boss. There's nothing attacking you, but you have to complete each jump puzzle.
I'd like to actually see some Weeping City mechanics again.
You know what mechanic hasn't come back since Weeping City? Megadeth. I have never seen Megadeth come back.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see those come back.
Megadeth and Ozma came back himself. Fun fact, I know none of you guys did Eureka, but Proto Ozma, that was a perfect boss. I don't care what anybody says.
I didn't like Proto Ozma.
I like how it took Ozma as a boss and it was like, you know what? Here's a savage version of him, but the mechanics were totally different.
It was. It just felt very like hectic, which I liked.
I liked.
Shout out. Kind of annoying. Like you got shot once, you dead.
Shout out to the one tank that walked off during my clear. By the way, you are our only casualty. I think about you all the time.
No mount.
Well, something that we can look forward to if you like this sort of thing is bullet hell scenarios of AoEs. That's sure to be in the near raids.
Wait, what?
The near raids will probably have bullet hell mechanics, because you think of Byakuyo, but like harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be like that.
I hope they kind of do more like whatchamacallit. I always forget the name of these dungeons. Last MSQ roulette one.
Praetorium,
yeah. Before you fight off that Asian, don't want to do spoilers, but I know it's
Ultima?
stupid. Anyways, yeah, you fight Ultima the second time around, and he spawns all those Magitech bits. It's so much fun to dodge all that stuff when no one kills him, because you're like tanking or melee DPSing at the same time. You just see all these blue lasers going off everywhere. It's chaotic but fun.
Let me grab chat. Oops, sorry. Let me grab chat real quick. Jonathan says, I still haven't fully / mentally, emotionally recovered from Costa del Sol Salvage Ultimate. Please don't give Yoshi more ideas. Pi says, as a black mage, I want to kill you.
Wow.
Don't make me play
It's
Bullet
fun.
Hell. And Terra says, hacking section, anybody? I would like to see a hacking section from Nier Automata in FFXIV, but I don't know how that would work. It would probably be like Cerberus. We get pulled into an area and we have to fight our way through some like data firewall or something and break in. That'd be kind of cool.
Could you imagine fighting a boss in 2D in this game? It'd be so cool.
Oh no.
That's another mechanic that I haven't seen much of since the Cerberus's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it kind of comes back with Alexander's time gates, but it's just not the same, dude. You get eaten by the boss to fight the boss.
Wow, Super's into war.
Ew. And Tara says it would be fun at random shapes. Healers could be squares, DPS could be triangles, and tanks could just be walls. Just the walls. You just go in and sit there.
I would be down with different shape of AoEs. Like when we were doing maps last night, there was one trash pack that has the big golem, and he does the circle with the safe spot in the center. And it's nice to see some of that stuff. Or the half moon AoEs where you're like, holy shit.
Lunar Dynamo, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the Calcabri.
Yeah,
The heat gaze.
The heat gaze.
Yeah, it's just like Lunar Dynamo, but it confuses you.
I think that's all the mechanics we see. But I think I'd really like a mechanic where it reverses your rolls, because I don't think we've ever had a mechanic like that. Just make the healers tank for a while and make the tanks heal with some sort of contraption. The DPS can just go sit in the corner. They have enough mechanics already.
No, I want to shoot people with my guns to heal them.
That'd be a pretty cool mechanic. What if you had to attack your own party members to heal them? That would be a cool mechanic.
Hold on, let me drill you to save your life.
Do
You
it.
could actually auto-attack me with your book, finally. Okay.
Sweet. I suppose the only thing I have that's left that I'd like to see is make the transition from 5.0 to 6.0 not jarring, because it's really jarring from 4.0 to 5.0. But maybe I'm asking too much, because I know it's going to be a whole different expansion.
I didn't find it that jarring though, personally.
I did.
I like
Yeah, me either.
I
I
mean-
like that. It was just like you get yeeted out of there. Fuck
They
off.
literally just throw you out of Eorzea, and I don't like how it happens. But it might just be me.
I mean, they're not going to have a red carpet and have a butler there saying, "Your escort is here to bring you to the first, sire."
You know, but what takes us to the first? That's never specified either. That dumb little thing. We still don't know what that thing is. It's
Yeah,
just-
that's also a thing. Like, how does Graha Tia now control time and space?
Because it's Gratia.
It's.
It does. I love it.
I would have preferred it if, like, I don't know. This might sound dumb, but maybe if he had just talked to us and told us where to go and what to do, I would have liked that a little better. But instead, we find this random metal piece, and it's like, LOL, you're in the first, and then you just and you're in the wrong place on top of that, so you just wander around.
But, I mean, I don't know. It would have honestly bothered me more to have someone holding my hand to go into the first, because that's how Stormblood felt for me. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh, here, come with me. I have something to show you." And you're just walking down the street holding hands. It's like, yeah, look over there. That's where the Doman Empire fell from the Garleans. And, oh, hey, look over here there. That's where I used to live. And now with this expansion, it's like, fuck you. You don't know what to expect. You're there now. Have fun and learn how everything works.
But still, that happens anyway. Not to that extent. But the Crystal X-Art just comes and gets you and is like, okay, here, I'm going to sit here for 15 minutes and explain the situation. And then he just move on.
It did feel like I was more of a tourist in Stormblood and being shown around all these areas and being told the lore and history of everything. But when like you're sucked into the first, it's like there's a sense of wonderment and even dread of like,
it's like
I'm stuck here.
Yeah, it feels like starting the game. Like you're just like, oh, I don't know what's happening.
It's like you got blackout drunk and then you woke up in this random place and then like you're trying to figure out where you're at and then you find your friend that was trying to find you for a good like 45 minutes. He's like, oh, there you are, dude. Here, let me show you this place.
Okay. I mean,
it was explained how we ended up there. They didn't explain that little device that we picked up, but
that's
the
true.
Crystal X-Art did say that he pulled us in. It's just that he dropped us by, he had flippy fingers at that point and dropped us in the wild.
I will say this about the first, and this might go to what you were saying, Zavo. The first is a lot less lore heavy than the actual source. And I don't know if that's intentional on the writer's part or if they're just like, we want to sell more lore books, but I am finding myself a little disappointed that the lore of the first is a little dry. But then again, the whole world's been wiped out, so maybe there is.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Like, there's like no world. Like everyone's history got entirely wiped by like a flood of light. So it makes sense that they're like just trying to start anew, like start their own world.
Like the only like people that I could think of that has some intertwined lore to it is the people in Ratika with the owl. Like, I can't remember the area name. But they had like the ancient
Ronkins.
Yeah, the Ronkins. Yeah, they've got like a temple there and all that stuff. It's like they have some back hidden lore to all of that. Whereas like everything got destroyed and everything else is just like, oh well, we don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's also with like the Numos, because like all of them are like 100 years old, so they remember Vobert, so they talk to you about that, which is really cute. And like it's like a good nod, like they still remember, which is like cute.
Mm-hmm.
But that's everything I want to see. My expectations are a little high as usual, and they probably aren't gonna all be met. But I'll probably still like the game no matter what. I think we got through everything we were gonna get through tonight. So, and we're already over of what I wanted to be at. So it's fine though. We had a good conversation. So I'm gonna end it here. Thanks to everybody for coming out and listening to us bullshit for the last about an hour. We'll see you guys next week on Sunday. I don't have a topic picked yet, but it'll be something cool, I'm sure. Maybe. Probably. I hope. But do you guys have anything else you want to say before we end the stream?
Not that I can think of.
Make Warrior great again.
We still have to remember Zingo.
We need to go find Zingo, guys.
Best we forget about these things.
And what about you, Kai?
What? What about me?
Do you have anything else you want to say?
No. It's pretty fun. There's
Okay. Oh, Philo's just in chat. He's like, "Rip, I just got back." Aw. Next week,
Boo.
dude. Next week.
Boo.
Next week he can sleep through it again.
No. Alright. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.